Okay, today I'm answering the call of the Lemurian. I have been hearing about them frequently lately, and so this is going to be a channel session with the intentions of speaking with those of the Lemurian civilizations. As my knowledge of them is that, they were a very high frequency civilization. They were part of, from my understanding, I believe the Atlanteans, and they were a particular group within the Atlantean civilization, which was here for some time previously before it fell. So if that's wrong, I'm totally open to being corrected. I didn't look this up. This is just a gathered understanding. I definitely know that they're definitely high frequency. I used to wear a Lemurian crystal all the time for a couple years. So I want to go ahead and call in that energy. I want to call in the benevolent, honorable beings of the Lemurian lineage who have been reaching out to me, my guides, all of my benevolent, honorable spirit guides, ancestors, teachers, and all the benevolent, honorable light beings that walk with me to help me to communicate this information. I am sure that I just know that it has to do with going into the 5D. I'm aware that it has to do with understanding how to walk in love, be in love at all times and all things that you do. That is something that has been called forth within my life, within my day-to-day understanding who we are. As I've been walking the path at this point, the conversation is about manifesting oneself as the God self in flesh, and the balance of being in the physical, the balance of also being completely aware of your spiritual otherworldliness and your multi-dimensionality, and how to balance that, how to walk in that, how to deal with situations that come up that are like with your children, where it may be upset situation typically, or those outside of you, and what you're attracting in your experience, how to handle that in love, and also respect and honor of yourself and those who came before you. I'm having some deja vu right now. It's weird to feel like butterflies in my stomach right there for a moment. That was weird. Okay. So what guidance have we today regarding our ascension? Yes, our ascension. My energy is just adjusting. It's a very high energy. I'm having an adjustment right now. Oh, whew, okay. We are allowing an upgrade within us as we transition into the energy of the fifth dimension, as we ascend, as we lighten our physical load. We are coming into union, into oneness with our higher self, our higher dimensionality, our higher existence and being, integrating it with our carnal being changes the frequency of our physical existence. It lightens our load. Load, load. And I'm not sure if I'm going to post this, but if I do, allow your body to adjust, allow yourself to shift. There will be some pauses for these transitions. I do feel my body feeling lighter, just as a whole, just feeling lighter, less solid, and yeah, just feels kind of like the weight of the way your body feels, it feels less heavy. I have been asking questions about the fifth dimension and how that's going to function in my life, how that is going to affect my soul callings. If my calling is to help raise the frequency of other beings, how and where do I do that? Lineage. Our lineages are changing. That will be happening with this fifth dimensional shift. The way we look at things, family, will be more collective and unified. This higher vibrational existence, it is not going to look like what we think it will look like. Maybe that's what I think it will look like. It won't look like what I think it will look like. Perfections, Garden of Eden, the ideas that I held, it will look different than what we know. They're taking me back to some memories when I was young. I used to wish that we got to start over and that we had the Garden of Eden again, and that everyone would be in love and be in peace, because I was feeling everyone's pain and unhappiness, and I did not know how to deal with that, and it was rough. It was very rough for me. I didn't understand the suffering. I didn't get why. I didn't understand the mistreatment of one another. I didn't understand why people do what they do to each other. I was a teenager. I was like a young teen, like 12, 13, 14. This went on for some time. And I used to envision Eden and us being able to walk around like in the nude and just be comfortable and be able to enjoy nature and eat when we please and maybe not need to eat, and be able to enjoy our existence and not labor it and not struggle with it. And I feel like they're saying, yes, there was a need for the struggle. The struggle was purposeful. We needed to understand that struggle. We needed to process it. And I'm hearing gratitude. It gives us gratitude for where we're headed. It gives us gratitude for life. It gives us a sense of, how do I say that? Pleasure, achievement, to now ascend into 5G after having lived this life in 3D, so that when we rebuild, we will consider what we have been doing and how to not do that any longer. We will understand how to not do that, how to do it differently, how to support ourselves, our evolution, how to embrace one another and their ideas, their individuality, how to be something we've never been, because we are not rebuilding the past. We are creating a new future. We are the future. And I'm hearing that Michael Jackson song, "We Are the Future," for you and for me and for the entire human race. Make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world. This is the healing of the world. Oh my gosh. This is what I dreamt about so many times. This is the time. This is why I'm here. This is why I had those visions. This is why I am who I am. This is why everyone plays their role as they are. We all offer solutions. We offer awareness. We offer transformation. We offer triggers. We offer solutions and triggers. Those are solutions being presented. Aspects, perspectives. We are being offered a new perspective on life and living and being. Allow yourself to come to know life in a new way. Open your mind, open your perspectives. Open yourself to the new. Open yourself to the new way of being. Accept that you are new. You are never who you used to be. There's always a new you. Opportunities knock every day, all the time. Opportunities. Let yourself be new, renewed. I am not who I've never been. What does that mean? You have not been this new before. You have not been this new. Allow it. The new you who can be new to you. They're saying we haven't done this lifetime any time before now. We haven't done this new before. It's totally new, it's completely new. New combinations of old things create new spaces. We are not to redo. Our new is especially new for you this time. This time. You will be the whole you've never seen before. I have a question. Will 5D allow people who are still deep in transformation? Yes, because they will have moved far enough to transform, to they will have achieved enough transformation to transcend, ascend, but not enough awareness or wisdom to have transformed. They will have more transformation. How long would it be before we see the physical reality of these things we speak? Long enough for you to get into alignment. When will it be? Is there a year? It will still be some time now. It will still be some time now. 2 or 3 years is what I saw. How will we know when we are ready? How will I know when I'm ready? You will see. I will see. What will I see? They're showing a heart is lightened. Show me a heart floating. Will I know it? 5D will I have been presented before? Everything is presented before. They're showing me how I tend to be ahead of the collective. I will know. I will see. I will be. There's much work to be done. Yes, even after 5G, we will still be becoming true self. Still lifting and lightening ourselves. Still allowing the light to service our greater needs. Still holding perspectives like these we see in ways of being, being. There will still be integrating of darkened spaces until we recognize that we are all things. Until we recognize we are living beings of light. The light, yes, the light is in the dark, of the dark. The light is with the dark. The light, like the dark. Yes, yes, okay. The light cannot exist without the dark. The light must be in oneness, in conclusion, in agreement, in, there's a word, I don't know. They're telling me incongruence with the light is incongruent with the light is congruent with the dark. There is no one without the other. There is no separation. They move as one, they move as one, they move as one. They're saying that we think, oh, the 3D is real because of the light and the dark. And they're referring to drawings, art, animated arts, where it is the light and dark that makes the 3D look real. Ooh. We confuse the light and dark as real because it is all we know. The density is what we know. The heavy, the depth, the HD of reality. We think smells and touches are real. They are just electronic signals to the brain, and we think they are real. We are living in a matrix, a societal box, a experiment, a experience, a virtual reality that feels real. They're saying if we sleep too much, we won't know what is real. If we sleep too much, our dreams feel real. Are your dreams real too? Are your dreams real? Mm, mm. Your dreams are just as real as your reality. But you were told your dreams are fake. You say it's only a dream. But is it another reality that you visit when you're sleeping? Is it that your soul is traveling? Is it that you think things are what you think they seem to be? To be or not to be is the question. To be real, to be fake, to be, being, beings. Beings are a figment of your imagination. Beings are just energy, just like nothing is energy. And they're referring to air, molecules, things our eyes don't see. Nothing is energy. Space, empty space is energy. Vacuums are energy. Measuring things doesn't make anything real as it can be. Measuring doesn't make things real, you see. You see what you think you see. What do you think you see? You think you see molecules moving at a pace that creates things real. You see a figment of your imagination. Someone tells you it's real. It's only molecules vibrating at a frequency. It's nothing you see. It's nothing. It's nothing you see. It's nothing. Everything is real when you say it's real. You see, you are a being created to be seeing things. You created being real. Real is not a thing, they're saying. What is real? What does that mean? Real. You smell it. You taste it. Is that real? Being real, listening, hearing, feeling, being is what you call being. Being is a figment of your imagination, and they're saying that means you made it up in your mind. They're explaining that if no one told us that this was real, would you think it was real? Would you think it was real if no one told you it was real? Would solid be solid? Would it? Would it be solid? Would a wall be solid if no one told you it was real? Okay. Now they're showing me that all the dimensions we would ever exist in are the same. They are the same realness. They are not solid. They are just an expression of a thought, a feeling, a creation of a mind, a thought. They are a creation. That creation can change. It can be undone, redone, overdone, overdressed, extreme. It can be many things, as we are many things. But we agree that these things are real. And so we believe them to be real. But they're explaining to me that the more you come to know yourself, the more you will understand the realness of these things, the nothingness of things, of people. Your values will change because real isn't real. And that leaves truth, which is everything is not. It is nothing. And at that point, the thing that you value becomes the essence of self. The nothing then becomes everything. The nothing becomes everything because everything is nothing. And they're showing me that you won't take life so seriously. You won't take life so seriously. And that brings ease because the ease is in understanding that this is just an experience, an experiment of your soul. It is just a moment of your soul. It is a moment's passing of your soul. Things are less tangible and nothing becomes more real than everything you thought was real. And this life becomes easy because you understand it's just an experiment of your soul, an experience of your soul. And then they're saying, have you ever thought of how close the words experiment and experience are? Have you ever thought of how close those words are? Existence, experiment, experience. They're saying there's no consequence. There's no coincidence. Okay, that's what they mean. There's no consequence. There's no coincidence that is the case. Our culture here in America is very tricky. They are saying there are so many overlaps of lies and truths. It's amazing that we find our way. It is amazing because the outside things we think are real are traps, but in the right light, they are truth. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. And they say our language is an echo of this space. And then they're saying that the Americas, the way we know it today, is one of the newest, like, civilizations or setups or like structural systems. But we pull more energy than the older systems because of the trickery. Okay, and it's showing me that, like, curiosity, like they say, curiosity kills the cat, but it can be your curiosity that drives you to look at things that many don't question, because your curiosity is like the window into the unknown. Okay, because there's an openness there that's not there when you don't question. So the importance of thinking for yourself, playing with this elusive experiment, making it an experiment, because when you ask questions, you unfold that thing, and that thing is always going to bring you back to you. It's always going to give you a perspective on self. And they're explaining our structural makeup, our brains, the system, our systemic structure of our molds of human, our molds of physical being, our collective, our connectivity, our connective of life, our micro, macro. Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Gratitude. The earth is going to undergo more changes. Our systems are going to undergo more changes, and they're showing me like the world systems as well as our personal system, like our genetics, our bodies, our cellular structure. And there will be upgrades happening. Okay. The system is going to undergo a transformation. And it's interesting. Okay. This transformation is going to unify us in ways. I believe what they're showing me is monetarily, things are going to change. It's like an integration of the world that will be happening. And for the humans, it's going to level something out with how we interact globally. And I'm not saying it's communication system. It's not the communication system. It's what I'm feeling it is like it's a balance of the classes. Like the classes are going to disintegrate. Like this idea of classes is going to disintegrate. And so the idea of enoughness, like I have enough to survive, that is going to be what's shifting. Okay, and there's going to be more depopulation of the earth. This is going to have a dualistic purpose. They are making it clear that there will be souls that will exit the earth. But they're explaining also that it's intentional. And these souls, it's intentional. In the grand scheme, it's intentional. And I'm seeing people leaving Earth, like through the atmosphere, like going home. They're going home. Okay. And they're saying we're not going to need, like we think we need, like, this sounds weird, but like as many people as we think we need. We don't need. They're saying this is going to help Mother Earth to rebuild herself, to recover herself. She is going through massive changes right now to birth this new earth. Okay, she's going through a birthing process. And there's a simplification, there's an elimination of the things that she doesn't need. And they're explaining it to me like a detox, like when our bodies go through detox and our cellular structure kicks out the toxins. It's like that. Not to say that these beings are toxins, but they are needing to be released. And it is for their own soul movement. Okay, that feels much better. It is for their own soul's movement, as well as for the earth, as well as for the shift. Sorry, this is just making me feel nauseous right now. Yeah, this pain, it feels like death. It feels like Mother Earth is grieving. And they're showing me ocean water on rocky shores. And this is a storm that Mother Earth is going through. And the waves are just crashing so hard against the rocks. The waters are moving. The waters are moving. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing about souls that haven't been buried into the earth. And a deep, dark shadow, a deep, dark trauma is being relieved from the earth. She's cleansing. She's grieving our traumas. She is releasing our pains. And they're showing me how nature is natural detoxification, and that energy goes somewhere. Our bodies, when they are buried in the earth, that energy goes somewhere. When we release trauma, that energy goes somewhere. And that there is a message now about being responsible for your trauma, being responsible for that energy that you are releasing, and letting it be in love, and surrounding the earth with love, and feeling love, and being in this high vibration is helping Mother Earth transmute the traumas, transmute the energies that have been stored, the abuse that has occurred to Mother Earth. And I'm hearing our trauma is her trauma, because her trauma is from our flesh. We are made of her flesh. Our skin returns to its place, and once we end as existence, we shall return unto the Creator. And so the same thing happens with our bodies. And as we disintegrate into the earth, as we walk the earth, and we give Mother Earth our trauma, and she must continue to nurture us as we are still here. And she is doing the work of giving and receiving, releasing, relieving herself and us. And that is her work at this time. She must ascend as well. She must ascend as well. Okay, and that is when the earth will split, do the split that we've been talking about. That is when 5D will be, because she will be done with her cleansing. And she will ascend. Okay, and so to understand the split and ascension of the earth is to understand that the earth, and this is what I'm being told, understand that the earth is a being. It's not some non-sentient thing that we want to refer to stuff as, which nothing is. Everything has a beingness to it. And she is a being, and she wants to ascend also. She wants to be rid of the life that we've been living. She wants to nurture a new space, something greater, something better, something bigger, something different than what she's been doing. She wants to be appreciated, and she wants love. And this is her ascension as well. As we find love, she will find a new manifestation in love as well. And her spiritual ascended energy will be 5D. 5D, yeah. Will be 5D. Okay. And so, again, we will do this together. And the love that we gain and walk this earth with is the same energy that she uses to ascend. The same energy that is being used to develop 5D. The same energy that we all share in our connectedness. It's the same energy that is being manifested for the new 5D world. So the more we ascend and experience these energies of higher frequency, high love, understanding the dimensionality of love, the more we support her, the more we assist Mother Earth, which is an honor. It is an honor. Thank you for always nurturing us here, even in our ways. Thank you so much. And it's lovely to know that all of the ascension that is happening, where people are departing from their carnal creation, that they are actually being freed up to experience something that's more in alignment with their being. And when we repopulate the 5D, we will be in a smaller number. We will be a smaller group as the human species, as the man that walks the earth. This will be part of our unification. And then there will be more. Our children will carry the lineage. And I'm hearing to teach your children to love, teach them to learn to love. Teach your children to learn to love. Teach them kindness. Teach them truths. Okay. I feel like there's a closing statement. There may be times when we are not apart. There may be times when we find ourselves apart. I believe that what I'm feeling is there may be times when we find ourselves apart. And then I'm feeling something about safety concerns, like being concerned if you're safe, if your loved ones are safe. And they're saying that they may not be safe. Okay, everybody's not going to 5D. That is the conversation. Everybody's not going to survive these changes that the earth is making. Everyone's not going to 5D. They're just really putting that on my heart. Everyone's not going. And we have to accept and be able to continue on knowing that your loved ones may not make it. They just might not make it. And there's nothing that they can do about it, is what they're saying. Everyone makes their choice. Everyone makes their choice. And they're saying you choose wisely. You choose wisely. Like, you can only control what you choose. And if someone's heart is not in it, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. And they're saying don't try to force a reality to happen, because regardless, everything is still in divine alignment. Regardless of how you may feel, it is always divine alignment. And they're asking us to make space for these changes. They're asking us to trust and to make space for those changes. I am feeling like this is going to be a very common conversation. There's not going to be, some people are just not going to make it. They're just not going to make it. And there's a very solemn feeling. And we will have to deal with this after the shift. We will have to live without them. We all know people who aren't going to make it. They're saying whether it's COVID, or whether it's an earthquake, or whether it's a flood, we will all know people who didn't make it. Didn't make it meaning in this physical expression. Didn't make it as in their bodies will not be present. Their bodies, they I don't like this word. Their bodies will be sacrificed. I don't know why sacrifice. Why is that the word? It will be given up for the sake of this transformation. And I'm hearing the word commitment. They made a commitment. Okay. And it's for the detoxification of the earth. Okay. And they are carrying certain codes that they have to go. They have to be, they have to leave. They cannot come. They cannot continue. They're carrying certain codes. I'm hearing molecular codes, and they can't come. I'm hearing just they can't come. In that form, they can't come. And they agreed to do this because of the detoxification of the earth. They were born into the time and place and family and energy to particularly address this issue. Particularly. And some of it has to do with, I know this is going to sound weird. It has something to do with genetics that have been mixed into our coding over time as we have been interacting with extraterrestrials unknowingly. And some things just have to be cleansed. And we have all been given assignments. Our assignments are for this time, are for the clearing, are for the detoxification. And so we must adhere to our agreements. Our achievements will be many going forward. It's like that's the energy of it. Our achievements will be many going forward. And there's like, embrace this moment. Be grateful for the cleansing. Be grateful for the sacrifice. Be grateful for the commitments. And they're saying we're all working this together. And it's not a one-person thing. We are all involved in many ways along the timelines. We have been all involved in many ways. And this is just what is happening at this moment now. There will be other moments. There will be other now. And those moments will be different for what we have done, for our works, our deeds, our ways, our thinking, our beliefs will be different. In these other new nouns, we will be different because of this shift. And they're talking about like this, the existence of human beings will be different because of this cleansing. It's going to change us and also the frequencies on the earth, which will be much more supportive, because I'm hearing embrace. They will be more embracing, more supportive going forward after this. And they're saying they know this sounds extreme heinous. Is that, I don't know if that's an applicable word. I hear heinous like extremely bad and to some people's perspectives, and they understand that that is a great deal of what might sound like sorrow and discontentment. But they're saying those of us who are making this transition will understand. They will embrace, and they will adhere to the commitments that were made and continually honor them, and understand that those beings are still being with you. And they're saying nothing is out of your reach. No one is out. Nothing's out of your reach. Nothing is out of your reach. And I'm hearing know yourself. Know who you are. Know yourself. Know who you are. Okay, and I'm hearing allow the shift to happen. Allow the shifts to happen. And listen to yourself. You must learn how to listen to yourself. If you want to get through this, learn how to listen to yourself. And when they're saying yourself, they're specifically saying your intuition, your gut, your internal guidance, your guides. They're like, whatever you want to call it. Learn to listen to yourself. It's very important. Very important. They're saying that's how you're going to get through this. Listen, listen, listen. There will be times you need to be places. Listen. Even if it doesn't make sense, listen. I'm seeing some people on a mountain, but they're coming out of the mountain. And it's like something happened, like they were there for a period of time, and then something happened and they came out. And they knew it was over when they came out. What is this? What is this you're showing me? Safety. I heard the word safety. And I'm hearing there may be a period of time to follow the guidance. Okay, so that sounds like there may be a period of time where we might be guided to go some places we don't normally go to make sure that we're safe. And it's going to depend on where you are. And you are going to know. You're going to know. Just listen. Just make sure you listen. Just make sure you listen. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm hearing time is irrelevant. It's just important to always listen. Things are being communicated. Make sure you're listening. It's like actions today can affect more than your tomorrow. It can change your future. It can change the path that you're walking. It can change the whole path. It's like this is like a crucial time right now for communication and listening to yourself and your guides. Don't take this lightly. And that is for, why is it being said like that? They're saying people are playing around. People need to stop playing around. Make sure you're doing what you're told to do. It's like, it's not that they're telling us to be so serious. It's just a matter of when you hear something, do it. When you're told to do something, do it. When you're led to do something, do it. Don't be pussyfooting around. I'm just going to say it because that's the vibration. Don't pussyfoot around when you know you've been told to do something. Do it because it may have implications on your future. So do it. Make sure you're listening. They're like, set aside time to just listen. You have to be clear on your listening. I say you have to. It's being suggested that you are clear on your listening. The suggestion is that you meditate to listen regularly. Okay, meditate to listen. See who comes to visit you. See what you hear. Follow what you're told. They're making me feel like listening is an issue, and they're like, yeah, it's a thing. People aren't listening. Okay. Listen, I'll make sure I listen better. Okay. All right, well, there we have it. Is there any other messages? It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's been an hour. It's not over yet. Okay, they're saying when you listen, it's not like just words. Listen with your body. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. And by that, feelings, vibrations, energies, Anything that you're feeling on your body, in your body, you can ask for that to be identified, clarified, so that you understand what is happening. We're communicating in several different ways. We're communicating in all the ways. And so they're talking about internally and externally. Watch your thoughts. It's like I want to say learn how to pause your thoughts, or the idea is to not have your mind rambling all the time, because you can't hear if you're listening to your thoughts only. So learn how to keep a stillness about yourself. Learn how to keep an openness about yourself. And you don't need to be thinking all the time. That's not a requirement of this life. It's not a requirement of this life. That's going to help you if you're listening, if you learn to have more stillness. There we go. Learn to have more stillness in your thinking. And it's very heart-centered. This is like so important to have more stillness for your listening. This is like you have to do. It's like a have to do energy. Like set your heart's intention that you will have more stillness and more clarity and quietness in your mind. Okay. Let's see. Okay, returning to the recording. Okay. They were giving us advice on listening and the importance of listening. I would like to understand something about disrespect, because that is one of the most difficult things to deal with other people when they are acting the way they act. Now, we know some of that comes definitely from them being in their stories and living as the persona they created, that their life, how they decided to evolve or mold themselves based on life experiences. And so people have their issues, which may cause them to act out in a way that seems disrespectful. But for the receiver of that disrespect, there's also a story running as well, because that is how alignment works. Okay. So now then, when it comes to disrespect, what we call disrespect from children, where they're not listening to what we ask of them. Yes, children are new and they're like readjusting to life on earth. What is a respectful way to go about dealing with a child who does not like to listen or communicate or work together? What is the perspective? They have some unhealed traumas around being told what to do, or rebelliousness against control factors, authority. And they are feeling disrespected, okay, because you're telling them to do something they don't want to do. And that's outside of the scope of things that they want to experience. And you're interjecting what you feel is valid, which is disrespecting what they desire to do. So then the child disrespects the parent just the same. My next thought is that then maybe we should bend a little to accommodate the child and what they want, so they can have what they want and you can have what you want, which in some cases that may be possible, but in other cases that's not necessarily possible. We have circumstances that we agree to in our lives as adults, such as working, etc., household responsibilities, etc., whatever it is that we are doing that our children may not necessarily want us doing, or we may be having them do something so that we can do something, and they don't want to do that. So then what is the solution for the child who doesn't want to help with the arrangements? They don't want to listen. So what is the solution for the child that doesn't want to listen? I'm hearing listen to them, hear them out. I'm hearing to like respect or acknowledge what it is that they say they want and ask them to listen to you. And then you tell them what you want. And then ask the child, what do they think should be done? Or what is the solution? Okay, so then what if the child picks a solution that doesn't work? It says to talk to, I'm hearing to talk to the child and tell the child why that won't work. And I'm hearing the word compromise. And they're saying that's respect. We are not taught to deal with our children this way, but it is for the greater good that we learn how to respect our children. So then that just takes me to want to ask, like, what's the perspective on parents who still spanking? What is that? How this is usually happening when the child has multiple occurrences. Okay, they're like, you need to try. You have to try the new system before you continue to move with what the old system was. The way is to find a solution where both parties can be respected as much as possible to a resolution for both parties, just like you would with an adult. They told me earlier this week that kids are little adults, and a lot of adults are really still kids. So, right. They're saying patience and to not assume that things aren't going to work out the way that you, in a way that is like desirable for you. Anticipate that all is well and respect your children and communicate. If you feel disrespected by them, explain to them what disrespect is. And if you feel like you need to again explain repeatedly, then you should, because that's the only way they're going to come to understand. Teach your children communication and not force and betrayal. Wow, betrayal. That's a strong word. And they're saying when you tell someone that you care for them, then wouldn't it be wrong to go and hurt them? That's teaching miscommunication about the purpose of love or what love is supposed to look like and feel like. That's not love. Okay, I'm hearing don't think that just because something worked back in the day that it's going to still work today. These people are not the same people we used to be. These people are not the same people we used to be. That's the words. Okay. Well, is there any other communications about that you wanted to do? They're just like, we're gonna get through this. They're saying we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this. We are going to make it. We are going to get through this. We're going to work together. We are going to get through this. I did have one last question though about the 90-day food supply that a lot of people are speaking about. Even the people who are conscious are talking about this 90-day food supply. I don't know if this is advice for everyone, but every time I bring this up, I hear, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So I encourage everyone to check in with your guys and you ask them if you need to get the supply or not and see what you get. But what's also interesting to me is there are other people who are channelers of sorts who communicate with their ancestors, and they have been saying to get a 90-day food supply. I don't know if that is them being, let me be prepared, or they're like, oh, my ancestors told me to do it. Because at this point, I mean, I've always spoken that I was safe. I always spoke that when this time came, because I knew when I was like a teenager, or like 19, 21, somewhere in that range, I think it was, that the earth was going to shift. Spirit told me. That was one of the few messages I got clearly back then, because I wasn't really functioning in the true self. I wasn't looking to do these things. I was begging to have this ability while I already had it, but I didn't understand. I needed to learn how to be quiet and be still. And I'm a Gemini ascendant, so my mind can run laps for days if I decide to let it. But once I learned how to quiet that down and meditate, I did. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was right there with you. I just had to believe that I could do it, and I had to allow the process. There was some clearing and some understanding. I may have chose a longer road because of my mind used to like always look for logic, and the logic is not the answer when it comes to spiritual realm. Not always. Often not unusual that it wouldn't be logical. So in that, I did learn how to listen, but I always spoke that when the time came that I would be safe. Every time I would think about it, that's what I would conclude with. No matter what's going to happen, I'm going to be safe. Me and my family, me and mine, we're going to be good. And that's what I used to always say. Now, what that means and how things unfold, I don't know. So, I would just like to say, ask your guides. But my guides is telling me, don't worry about this again. So, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm definitely going to listen to my own guides before I listen to anyone else's. And I encourage you to do the same. Okay. I'm hearing you'll be taken care of. So definitely listen to your guides. Okay, and then there's the aspect that everything is being positioned. So what your positioning will be, you will need to ask your guides what you should do. I don't know what the positioning is going to be, but I do know that I have some things coming in, so I'm going to acknowledge within myself that whatever it is, it needs to be in place, will be in place when the time comes. And I'm not going to stress about it. I'm not going to ask no more goddamn questions for a while about any of that, because I am being told that you will be all right. It's going to be taken care of. And that's good enough for me. Any actions that's required of me in order to make sure it's taken care of, I will be mindful and know at what time to do what and when and how. And then that way, I set the intention now that I will know what to do when the time comes to get prepared, be prepared, or whatever it is that shall unfold, where it will be taken care of. And I trust and know in my heart that that divine alignment shall most definitely occur. Okay, so then other questions. Did I have any other questions? I'm channeling right now. I do, but they're about my personal business, so I'm a personal business them, and I'm not going to record it. So, yeah. Will I post this? I feel like I should post it. Yeah, okay, we're in agreement. I should post it. Okay, definitely will. Ayatamore, Juzel shall be posting this video. I will share it also on my I Am Attuned Facebook page as an upload, as well as on my YouTube, Ayatamore, Juzel on YouTube, and I'm Attuned on YouTube. I'm Attuned is going to primarily be more products oriented for the people who just want to come get the products. And then Ayatamore as Juzel is going to be the complete whole other expression of my artistic capabilities when it comes to poetry, music, channeling, meditations, whatever else, spirit guides unfolding for me, dancing, all of that is going to be on Ayatamore, Juzel, my loves. So thank you for joining me, my infinite family. I send you love and most abundant unfoldment, most blessed unfoldment. Okay, yes. Oh, they remind me. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, whichever platform you're on. And thank you for your support and your continued time and investment into yourself and into what it is that I do, that I, will continue to offer until the time in which I'm told to stop. So many blessings. I sincerely send my love to you all, and I just desire that you have peace of mind regardless of how your unfoldment is looking, that you always find your center and peace. All right, peace and love.